physical / mental one against Taylor for me to even make it to the end. I don't know. I'm not negating. I want to be here. I want that chance to be able to do that, but it does seem very low probability that that would be the case. But I get your concerns. Yeah, I guess all I can say is my perspective, and I get that it would get you there. It just would be painful. It'd be painful to watch. But even if, but then again, I can't. I'm not going to comment on that because that has always been something I came in. I would be just as happy with second as I would have with first. So I can't say anything other. I just know that that's probably not the mindset that you came into this with.
No,
too, you know?
Yeah, but I think my thing is like, if I took the Michael approach in saying I feel very confident in beating people who I'm more than likely to beat based off of history, then that would be a pretty poor decision to make, right? Because the types of competitions that we have and all of that, like whatever is bound to come, we have no idea. We have no idea what will happen that we may blunder on that will have us come up short. To me, that's the risk that I'm managing, is if I come up short, what the hell happens at that point, right? Because I look at even the Turner-Taylor situation, like you said, I think when it comes to endurance, Taylor might be able to beat the both of us in that first one. Very much so. So then I'm left to possibly battle it out with Turner in the second competition. Say even if I lose that one, right? And then it comes down to memorization of what has happened in the past, I still will put my money on Taylor memorizing those things versus Turner, just based off of what I've seen thus far in the game. So either way, in both of those routes, Taylor would make a logical decision to pick me if she were to win. And Turner, based off of what I've seen, I know you said that he flips on a lot of different things. Those have been decisions that have been informed to him. He was taking directives from people on those decisions.
From who?
I mean, the leftovers and the pound and the 4-person alliance that we had that even started the leftovers, that wasn't his idea. It wasn't him conjuring, I just want to put a mirror on the block. We had a conversation until 5 a.m. in order for us to feel good about that and then forming the leftovers. Same thing with Kyle. He wouldn't have put up Kyle if there was no way that he would have put up Kyle. And he even told me that he probably would have put me up because he was taking directives from Kyle. Like that's just the position that he's been in the game. And again, like he has trust with the people that he's closest with, and whoever he feels like he can trust most, like it's typically who he's making decisions with, And I'm not saying people are making those decisions for him. I'm just saying that I don't look at the past and think he's flipped out of nowhere without me knowing why he did it. Even the whole Michael situation, like, what was crazy about that is after I won the veto, we go into the car room, and we had, just like how we have talked about it, just like me and Taylor have talked about it, I'm aligned with Alyssa, but Turner and I mentioned the same thing. If there's a shot to be taken, it has to be taken, or else we're not making it any further in this game. I go into the car room, after winning the power veto, I say, all right, I'm going to use this thing. And he says, all right, who am I putting up? I said, Turner, what the I was like, and it may have been the heat of the moment, right? Like just all of that stress and how fast-paced everything was. But I was like, Turner, we're putting up Michael, man. And he's like, oh, yeah. You know what I mean? So I don't, this is based off of my experience. I've been, I think, a little bit closer in proximity to Turner than maybe you have, from the experiences in the game. And that's where I look at, like, objectively saying, okay, he could make a decision to not choose me, but the likelihood of him doing that based off of his resume versus mine and versus the experiences that I've seen when he makes those flip moves against, a word that he has with somebody, I find it less likely that he would choose Taylor over me versus if you were there or if Taylor were there, it's obvious that you guys should choose each other. Mm-hmm. Whereas with Turner, it's not as obvious. It wouldn't be as big of a blunder if he chose me because his resume would be stacked to that point where it wouldn't really matter who he chose at that point. Mm-hmm. That's just how I look at it, very, very objectively, and just based off of everything that I've seen, you know. Whereas I think from your perspective of Turner, you're like, oh, this guy's unpredictable. I think he's very predictable.
Yeah.
And I am too, you know. But I just think that, it's. I understand where you're coming from in that angle, but I just have a pretty good idea of.
Could he see that as his opportunity to finally do something that is his?
He could. He very much could. Very much could. But then that would mean that he would have to win that last comp.
Yeah.
And again, even the risk associated with that, like me knowing his memory skills of what has happened in the game, I feel like you and Taylor would have a much better shot at winning a competition against him in that regard, and myself, than me winning it against you or Taylor or whatever have you. You know, it just makes sense based off of what I've seen.
Yeah.
But again, that's how I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
Objectively, and this is me, third person Monty, saying, okay, what should Monty do to make sure that he's in the best spot next week?
Yeah.
Just like how I did last week.
Yeah.
If I would have evicted Taylor or if I would have evicted Turner, I don't know. I mean, maybe I would have won the veto comp and I would have been fine, but I'd still be in the same position where now I have to really bank on winning competitions.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be a Michael in the game. You know, I want to be a Monty.
Yeah.
You know, because that's what's gotten me this far.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.